Okay, for the Raising Her Voice project in Nigeria, we have had a series of activities. We're in our second year of implementation. Part of activities has included training of grassroots women on the AU protocol, building their capacity to understand what is the content of the protocol, what's the provisions of the protocol for the women in Nigeria. We've had about, I think, 3-4 trainings in Enugu State, we have had in Kaduna State, we have had in Lagos State. We have also had school debates with youths and secondary school students in Nasarawa State. The idea behind the school debate is to train the youths on the AU protocol, help to increase their understanding on what the AU protocol is about, women's issues, because we realize that the mindset, the issue of discrimination against women is the mindset, and we want to be able to catch these youths young. That's just the whole philosophy about it, catching them young and being able to shape their mindset the way they think, so that when they become leaders, they'll be able to make policies and laws that favor women and help to end discrimination against women in Nigeria. We have also had town hall meetings where we specifically target heads of households, traditional rulers, female-headed households, male-headed households, religious leaders, and we bring them into a meeting where we have there's no format, there's no timetable, just an open discussion on discussing issues of violence against women in their own communities, in their localities, in the local dialect, in the local language, trying to explain what the protocol is all about. We have also worked on simplifying and translating the AU protocol into the 3 major Nigerian languages for now, which is Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. The idea is that we realize that majority of the population of Nigeria do not have the formal Western education. Not all of them know how to read and write in English language. So if we could have the protocol in their own local dialect, we'll be able to bridge the gap that education would have normally placed before us in getting majority of our population to understand and know what the protocol is all about. So we have had that, and it has been a huge success because we have had religious leaders who normally have not seen the 4 walls of the school talk about things that are happening in his community. We have had traditional rulers give us tips on how he helps to settle disputes. Sometimes we have this formal way of thinking of, okay, let's settle a dispute in this way or in that way, but he gives an innovative idea that we may not have thought about in the beginning. So it has really, really been a huge success for us in getting some lessons even from them, not just giving them, teaching them, but they also teaching us. And also it has been helpful because we have had the men work together with us to end violence against women. We have had commitments from the religious leaders, from the traditional rulers, and the male-headed households to commit to ending violence against women in their families, in their homes, in their schools, in their communities. And recently, from, as you know, 25th of November to 10th of December is the 16 days of activism on ending violence against women. We've had a series of activities. It has been a non-stop 16 days. On the 25th we had a walk which was organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs, that's the gender machinery in Nigeria. On the 2nd, the Raising Her Voice project, on the 2nd of December, had a road show where we formally launched the 16 days of activism. It was a very, very huge success. We had students, we had youth corpers, we had parents, we had community leaders, we had policy makers, we had everybody on board, and the idea behind the work was not just to make noise, but to, as we walked from the arts and culture to where we finally had the launch, we were sharing posters, fact sheets on violence against women. We were giving talks as we went along on signs. For example, signs that for people who are being victimized, signs that they can easily know, and ways how you can overcome it. We're giving tips on who you can reach, NGOs that you can, networks that you can join, and we made a lot of noise, and we raised awareness on the whole 16 days and on any violence against women. We also had recently in September, a youth copper, a female, was raped to death allegedly, and on the 4th of December we had a peace rally where CSOs, NGOs, the government, and different people from different walks of life, we all came together, and we had, within the 16 days, we also had another walk which we ended up at the National Assembly, and we did WRAPA under the RHV project and other NGOs, we developed a petition which we submitted to the National House of Assembly. For some years now, since 2003, we have had a bill prohibiting violence against women at the National Assembly, which hasn't been passed into law. And so we wrote a petition using the Grace Ushank case as a case study, as our symbol, to demand, because going with in line with the theme of the 16 days of activism is commit, act, demand, we can end violence against women. Using that theme, we demanded that the House of Assembly, as our legislators, as our policymakers, pass the bill on violence against women, so that we would end the impunity, end the atrocities that is ongoing against women. And that was also a success. We had some commitments, from our legislators, on commitments that we intend to use, as advocacy later after the 16 days to pass the bill on violence against women. We also had on the 10th, before then, on the 5th of December, we had a dialogue with gender correspondents. We realized in the RHV project that the media are strategic allies to our project, and over time, the way that they report, some of them, the way that they report cases of violence against women is just to make sensation, make headlines, sell newspapers, but nobody demands that the perpetrators of these violent acts need to be caught, need to be brought to justice. So we had a dialogue with them, and we tried to reshape their way of reporting these stories, and we tried to encourage them in asking for justice for the victims of violence. And on the 10th of December, we ended the 16 days of activism of violence against women with a mock tribunal, where we brought victims of violence to come and testify, in the mock tribunal on the cases, the different issues that they have faced. We had cases of rape, we had cases of defilement, disinheritance, widowhood. The whole aim of the Raising Her Voice project is to raise the voices of women, and we thought, what better way can we do that than bringing these women to come and speak for themselves, not us reporting secondhand, what they have told us, but speaking for themselves and sharing their stories, with us. And we had that. It was also a success, and we intend to use the verdict that was given by our panel of justice as a tool to advocate that the bill on violence against women will be passed into law before the end of 2011. Thank you very much.